Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio, West Bexar County, also represented. My name is Mike Jimenez, and we have two producers today. We got Chicana Fuerte helping Joe Garcia out. What's going on? We're going to have a big show today. It's not only going to be here in San Antonio, but we got the 702 represented Las Vegas, Nevada, where we're going to have Spur Fernandez there. You know Rik Fernandez as Spur Fernandez. He's out there at the Spurs Summer League. He's going to be walking through a casino, giving a walk and talk about what he saw at the Summer League games. Stephon Castle, impressive.
Shines in Summer League.
Oh, my God. I told Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 this morning. I said, remember when I was bringing up Stephon Castle? Like in December, like in January? This guy is going to be good.
He looks ready now.
Dude, he's NBA ready. He's NBA ready.
And are you going to apologize to City Sissoko?
Oh, my God. He actually balled out. Well, actually, they were all dunks set up by who? Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle was setting them up for these dunks repeatedly in that game earlier this weekend. Lots to get into. We'll have Fernandez on in about 10 minutes or so to talk about the Spurs Summer League.
Copa.
Oh, my God. Would you want that at the Dome?
No.
Copa America,
No.
You had, Colombia taking on Argentina in the finals. And it happened at the Hard Rock in Miami, and the stadium got bum rushed.
Got busted.
Didn't matter if you had tickets. It didn't matter. Can you imagine spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for tickets and to be overrun by just a bunch of, Latino hooligans? Is that what we call them? Right? That's what they are in Europe, right?
They would have been the Marbach going in there.
Dude, it was bad going into the AC.
Ventilation
going
system.
into the ventilation systems. Come on, man.
And they, in a parody here, they went ahead and just walked over the ticket booth.
Yeah.
They just forced their way in and walked over the ticket booth and entered the stadium unimpeded.
Yeah, the security there rivaled what happened in Pennsylvania to former President Donald Trump.
Oh,
we're gonna walk that line very finely today because we don't talk politics, but it was interesting to see what happened over the weekend. We'll get into that at some point today. Seth Elias reaching out to us on our YouTube stream saying, shout out to the team. We pushed the page this weekend and started collecting subscribers. And I'm going to shoot my shot right now, man. I'm going to call my shot right now. We're going to get to 1,000 today, Joe. Today. Let's make it happen. We are at 991. I woke up this morning. We were at 990. We are at 991. Come on, guys. We got to get 9 more subscribers today. I was out at the Missions game this past weekend, my friend Alex's 47th birthday party. Joe, it was a little bit weird, man, because it was all you can eat, all you can drink in the patio area over there, right? $30, not bad. All you can eat, all you can drink. Baseball games last how long? 3 hours?
About.
That's a lot of beer drinking, right?
Yeah.
Dude, the game was over in 2 hours and 4 minutes because Amarillo was no-hitting the Missions through 7 innings. Or at the end of the 7th inning. Missions ended up winning the game 1-0. We looked up and the game was over, and we still had a keg that was still there. And they, let us float it a little bit. They let us play for another 30 minutes, but we were like, my God, the game was over quick. But again, 1,000, that has been a big goal of ours for the longest time. You and I set this back in January when we reconnected. We said, we're going to do this show. We're going to be consistent about it, provide that content Monday through Friday, 10:30, hour and a half or so. And now we're getting some momentum. We've been getting this momentum the past 2 months. It's because of the followers. It's because of the people who watch this show, spreading it on. And it's also because of Fernandez, Chicana Fuerte. It's because of the content that we're getting. James Pledger being a part of the show.
Brandon Medina,
Jeff Garcia. We have a lot going on there. Who's to say we can't get it done today? Yeah. Who's to say that we can't just get 9 today? We get about 2 or 3 a day, but can we get 9? Because we're on pace right now to be done by Friday. I want to post a video tonight of me and you thanking everybody for 1,000. Because what percent, Joe? 8% of pages out there on YouTube ever get to 1,000.
Yeah, you got to be the top 10% of YouTube in its entirety to even get to 1,000 subscribers.
Mario Cavasso is reaching out saying, good morning, watching from Universal Studios in Orlando.
Nice.
My man, dude, on vacation. That's fun. People are asking, did I chase the Puffy Taco or Puffy Taco on Friday night? I did not.
You didn't get in a foot race with them?
Didn't get into a foot race, but man, I've been eating clean, dude. I've been eating clean and drinking clean.
No Puffy tacos?
Drinking clean.
Well, drinking clean, what I mean by that is I'm stopping at 2. I'm stopping at 2.
To what?
2 of whatever. Except on Friday night, I had a little bit more than that.
Oh, of course.
Played poker over at at what used to be Rounders. Interesting thing about that, Joe. I would go to a place called Rounders. It's been around for a few years, and there's SA Card House, which is now something different. And
remember the one at Marie Callender's? Right.
Yes,
that one got demolished.
Yes, shut down. But what they're doing at Rounders now, they got bought out by a company called The Lodge a couple of weeks ago, and I went by over there. It's so much better, dude. All the rich people are pissed off.
Why?
Because it used to be you play a 1-2 no limit, right? 1-2 no limit table. It used to be you buy in for $200-$300, win a couple of hands, you're up to $500 or $600, and then there's a guy that sits down next to you, boom, with $3,000 because they just bought in, right?
Yeah.
And then they dominate the table, not because they're any good, they dominate the table because they have a bigger stack. The Lodge don't play that game, man. They say if you want to sit down at a 1-2 no limit table, the most you can buy in for is $300.
God.
So that means everybody's on a level playing field financially. You can't go in there and bully your way because you got stacks, because you got bank. You can't just go in there and just say, okay, I'm going to let these guys play. Oh, you guys are all buying in for $200? I'll buy in for $2,000 and just take all your money and just dominate you guys, right? Put you all in on every hand. Lodge don't play that. So now you have all the high rollers that are out there were pissed because now you got to win with talent at that poker house. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And also the Lodge is big in Austin. They're developing one in Houston and Dallas. And the goal is for them to have a multi-million-dollar tournament based in just Texas. So instead of the World Series of Poker, it's a World Series of Texas. That would be badass, man. Absolutely exciting. Fernandez is already on our YouTube stream saying that he's watching, babe. That's talking about me, apparently.
Do you have a crush on my man?
I always do, dude. I always do.
Got a man crush.
I always do. I have a man crush.
I knew something.
I have a man crush on Stephon Castle. Let's just call it what it is. I have a man crush on Stephon Castle because that is the guy that I wanted the Spurs to draft, not only in the draft that we had in June, not only in May, not only before March Madness, but I was talking about this guy for months, even here on the Alamo City Network, also on Los, Locked On Spurs. I've been saying it for months rather, and they got my guy. And the guy looks legit. And here's the thing, Joe. Take a look at what the 1 and 2 players, Alex Sarr, Zachary Reese-Harshay went number 1, Sarr went number 2. How are they doing in Summer League? Reed Shepherd and Stephon Castle, who went 3 and 4, look NBA ready right now. Reed Shepherd is shooting lights out right now. Stephon Castle is looking he might be better than Drew Holiday when it's all said and done. I hear that someone has joined the chat right now that has entered the chat.
So one thing that we're going to do real quick too, right before we get to Rick, is we want to give a quick shout out here to our boys, Brandon Medina and Seth Elias. They're going to be doing another Wrestling Spaces tonight after WWE Raw. So make sure you go and check that out. It's going to be starting 10 minutes after Raw ends. Go and give our boys some love.
Badass. Let's give some love to our man. Or I should say Chicana Fuertes man.
Yes, my man.
Rik Fernandez, United States Marine Corps retired, joining us from the casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, sporting the SATX shirt. What casino are you at there, and what are you drinking?
So, hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, baby. Good morning, all the followers. So I was going to leave last night. My original plan was after the Spurs game yesterday, I was going to hit the 5-hour drive to San Diego. No big deal. Man, after that game, we were chilling. I told my son, let's find a cheap room somewhere and let's just stay, let's chill. And that way I could get a good night's rest. So we found a pretty nice room at the Strat last minute for cheap, $100 and some bucks, That's not bad for literally last minute. I'm talking like 7 p.m. last night. I was at Tacos de Gordo looking for a room, So, and I got the mimosas, they're not quite the man mimosas, but they're the Vegas. They're the Vegas $15 mimosas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was in Vegas a week and a half ago with my daughter, and I'm ordering drinks in the morning, and there's a difference between morning drinking and evening drinking, right?
Absolutely.
So I had a screwdriver. I ordered a screwdriver. My daughter, who again 21st birthday, she had been drinking before, but she hasn't had tried everything, right?
Right.
I ordered a screwdriver. She goes, "Dad, what's that?" I said, "Well, let me just get you one." And she goes, "A breakfast drink." So, and then I showed her tequila sunrise, and she liked that.
She's one of us. She's one of us. She's one of us. She's one of us.
But that's amazing. And you know what? I am falling in love by the day. I've already bought my Stephon Castle jersey. It is on its way to my house in West Bexar County. You look at this guy, Rick. You look at him. I see shades of so many different players because I saw him play a certain way in college over at UConn because they had him off position at the two guard. He's kind of a combo guy, or at least that's the way they played him. But man, I saw certain plays, Fernandez, where I said, I've seen that strategy before. That is Luka Doncic's play. That is LeBron's play. That is Giannis's play. I'm not saying that he's 6'9", 6'10", but he's 6'6" and a half. He has an offensive bag that I think a lot of Spurs fans were unaware of.
Absolutely. I mean, that was the knock was, hey, he's a defensive guy. And then his offense has some work to do. Yeah, we saw him kind of struggle a little from the three-point line before. But listen, watching him live, and, again, going back to the Summer League, what people don't realize is you could get really close down there, like for a $50 ticket, right? So we're close. We're down there. Like they're hearing me, and I'll tell a story about a little bit later, but some of the players, I was talking to some of the players, they're like, we can hear y'all. I'm watching Steph Castle that first day, and the game looks like it's slow to him. He's like looking, he's already like calculating. The dude's like doing some hezzies. I mean, man, that offensive game, he's finding City. He's making it easier for guys like City Sissoko and all those guys like you were talking about the dunks. So, man, once Chris Paul and him get together and start talking and learning, I think we're, I don't want to be, I'm not a big hyperbole guy, and I don't want to be over, zealous, but man, this kid, he is smart. He has high IQ, and he's cerebral, man. He's like cerebral. You know what I mean? Like he is.
The passing is so crisp. I mean, he is zipping those passes in there, and they're not no looks that he's doing. He's looking at the player, looks off, and then just rifles it. He's rifling passes to the corner.
They're like calculated chess moves where he saw the pass like 2-3 moves ago, and then he came to it. I think he's special, man. I really do. I really do. I know he got a little banged up. He didn't play yesterday. He was walking around with a little wrist band, but it don't look serious. But there's a lot of people who are a little disappointed yesterday. I will say that. We luckily came for both games. See, this is why I tell people you got to go to that first game because you don't know when the second game. In the Summer League, it's a crapshoot. Like, so if you want to see, like, there were some Spurs fans that didn't come yesterday, didn't come the first day, that came the second day, and were sorely disappointed that Castle didn't play. But, that's what it is. But no, it's exciting. And he was walking around the arena the arena, talking to people. I didn't get a chance to get down where he was, but he's special. He's special.
If you're just joining us right now, we're talking to Rik Fernandez. You know him as Fernandez on Spurs Twitter. He's live right now at the Stratosphere in Las Vegas, Nevada. He attended the Spurs Summer League games out there, and we're talking about Stephon Castle. Dude, there's something special about the guy because he's more than just a defensive guy. We've seen him lock down guys defensively, and we have people in the chat right now saying this guy is looking like SGA. And I
was going to say that.
I was going to say that. But who was SGA trained by in his second season? It's trained by Chris Paul.
I was going to say that. That's a good comparison, SGA.
The corporate knowledge that you get out of it. This is a rebuilding season, okay? I'm not expecting Harrison Barnes and CP3 to like elevate this team to a 40-50 win team. That's not what it is. But I see the logic and the corporate knowledge of bringing in a Harrison Barnes, of bringing in a CP3 to handle the points, the point guard position, and train those guys, and having Harrison Barnes sit down with Sohan and go, Sohan, here's what you got to do to take your game to the next level, man. We have coaches now on the court. So I'm excited about this season. May not materialize into 45, 50 wins, but there's still something there. I see the logic, and the Spurs still have all the draft capital that they've created. Hey, Fernandez, got to ask you a question, man. When you see Castle push the ball up the court, when you see the handles on him, because again, he was a point guard in high school, but he was a shooting guard combo, and he said during the draft process, what? I want to be a starting point guard. You saw the handles in person. What do they look like?
Man, they're crisp. They're clean. I'm telling you, the kid is out there thinking. He has such a high IQ. He will be the starting point guard of the Spurs. Maybe next year. I don't know if you know, but I think what's amazing is he can play 1, 2, 3. He can play 3 with his defensive power. So I think it's a great thing. I think being able to play he's going to probably play some 2 this year, but he's a point guard of the future. There's no other way to say it. I think he's the point guard of the future.
You know, I was going to tell you, Rik, there's a comparison that they're making in the chat right now. They're like, well, Stephon Castle right now is better than Devin Vassell. In your opinion, what do you think?
I wouldn't go that far right now. And here's the thing. Somebody else I think it's Vane Stan said, it's Summer League. We can't overreact. And that's very true. I will say that again. I've gone to the Summer League live since 2015 every year, and I see a year in, year out. People get overhyped, or people get, oh, well, he didn't do good in Summer League, so he must be a bust. Again, the competition is different. The atmosphere is different. It's totally different. So you can't put too much stock one way or the other. But you want them to do what they're supposed to do, right? Castle should do what he's doing. Reed Shepherd should be doing what he's doing, right, out there in the Summer League against guys, some of them that most really won't make the roster. So I don't want to say things, but you're seeing the flashes. I think he will eventually be better than Devin. I'm sorry, I will say that. I love Devin. Devin's my guy. I saw Devin's dad yesterday at the Summer League, Andrew. So he was there. So
you all saw somebody else too. I'm gonna go ahead and show that on screen. What was that all about?
This is my son, and it's funny because we're like twins. People see him and they think it's me. So
yeah, he
that's
looks like a younger version of you.
He is, man. That's my oldest son, and we saw Brian Wright chilling in the concourse area, and my son just went up to him, started chatting with him, talking to him, telling him like, "Hey, I like the moves, and I don't know about this move and that." And my son's vocal, man. He went out there, he just straight up started talking to him. So it was really cool. Brian Wright was cool about it. He was super cool about it. He didn't want to divulge anything about Laurie, but he was really cool talking to fans and stuff like that. And this is what's cool about the Summer League. You see guys like Brian Wright walking around. And you could just literally go up there and talk to them. RC Buford, again, you don't want to like bother them, waste all their time, but they will stop and chit chat with you.
Now,
so
your son is either very tall or Brian Wright's very short. Which one is it?
You know what? I think I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the angle or something. But they're not far off from each other's height, to be honest. But I mean, Brian Wright ain't that big. He ain't a big dude, but. It was fun.
I was like, dang, I was like, Raska's that tall?
Now, one last thing about Stephon Castle, because we've talked about his defensive ability to lock down the 1, 2, and 3. We've talked about the handles that he has. We've talked about the crisp passing. I'm going to tell you one other thing that really got me going, and this is why I think that he's my favorite rookie that is not Wemby in 20 years. The most excited one that I've had in 20 years. Wemby's a phenom. Obviously, we're going to be excited for him. But, when you go back in time to DeJounte and Derek White and, Luka and Keldon and all that, I've never been as excited for a rookie like this in a long time. There's some offensive plays that he's doing where he's going off the screen and then he gets the defender behind him. Gets the defender behind him, and the defender is riding his back the entire time because Luka's body is not allowed. Gotta hit the mute button, my man. Gotta hit the mute button, my man. We're live, baby. We're live.
I'm sorry. I'm ordering another drink. I'm sorry. I'm in Vegas, but I'm listening.
Mute. Hit the mute button. No, but he's going around screens right now, and the player. This is what Luka Doncic does. This is why Luka gets to the free throw line so often. He goes around a screen, defender's out of position, and instead of allowing the defender to get back into position, he steps in front of the defender so that the defender is on his back. He makes his way into the lane, and he gets either hit from behind or he has a wide open shot. That is a Luka Doncic move over and over and over and over again. And not a lot of players do it. But guess who was doing it all weekend long? Was Stephon Castle.
Yeah, I think, like you said, we love the Keldons and the Devins and the late, the Derek Whites when we drafted them. Those were like late first-round picks. It was kind of like, okay, he's going to come in and be a nice little role player. Stephon Castle is going to be a core, star of the Spurs. And we can see that now. That's what's exciting about it. Like you're saying, to your point, he's doing all these things. And again, I got it. It's summer league. Let's see him against, top talent in the NBA. But you don't perform that way and then just not going to perform that way against, real NBAers, if you will. So what he's doing, like you said, he's doing all those Luka moves. I'm telling you, it's right here. It's in his mind, right? Because he is already seeing things. He's, like you said, he's fighting through the screens. We're in for a treat this year with Castle. Rookie of the year, man. I think it's rookie of the year. It's him and Reed might be battling.
I believe it. 10-1. You go to Vegas right now. You're in Vegas right now. It's 10-1
That's a good point. Yeah, I might have to hit that. Yeah, I might hit the spot. I'll tell you.
Navarro reaches out to us on our YouTube stream and says that you did an amateur move there, Rik. He says, just do the circle movement in the air to order one more round of drinks. You know the circle move. You know the circle move. You don't need to.
Hey, listen. No, listen. I listen, man. That's pompous. That's yeah. Well, yeah. Two points. Steph usually does
the hand gestures. This means I want to leave.
Yeah, that's
want another round.
But
that's kind of pompous in my opinion. You speak to people like they're human beings. I'm not going to motion to a waitress like if she's a dog. That's just me. That's just me. That's kind of pompous in my opinion. But hey, to each your own. But truth be told, Steph usually does all the ordering. So
very, very nice. Fernandez out there in Las Vegas. Tell me about what it's like to be at a summer league game compared to going to the Frost Bank Center, going to the Moody. Why is it different than, going to a regular Spurs game or maybe even an Austin Spurs game?
I'll tell you, and I always say this, if you're an NBA fan, no matter what team, you got to put the NBA Summer League on your bucket list. It's so cool because you have a cross-section of fans from all over, right? I met some Detroit Pistons fans, which I didn't know they existed, but they were there. They were hardcore. They were just as intense about the Pistons that we are about Spurs, right? Mm-hmm. And they were super cool. So you respect the fandom, right? You respect other teams' fandoms. And what's cool about it, and again, I love the Frost Center and all those things, but the interaction, I'm telling you, the interaction with the players. You see guys like Malik Rose walking around, and me and my son were chit-chatting with Malik Rose about the 99 championship. We had a big laugh about it. You just, again, a lot of these. So for those aren't familiar with it, it's at the Thomas and Mack Center at the UNLV campus. So you have the Thomas and Mack Center, and then you have the Cox Pavilion, another smaller arena, and it's all connected within a concourse. So a lot of the players and GMs and coaches and whoever have to cross between the arenas. So when you're walking around buying a beer or whatnot, you'll see the players or the coaches or the staff members walking around. So that's really cool. I just think the interaction with players, you're not going to get that at the Frost Bank Center, right? I mean, the team is going to leave from the back in their private area, and that's it. Like, they're not going to come mingle and walk around the area. So, one of the biggest pictures that I took that I was excited with was a non-Spur, and people don't like him, but it was my man Sam Cassell.
Nice.
The shooter Sam Cassell. Yeah. I saw him. I met him. I talked to him. He was again walking around amongst the people. Sam Cassell. When are you gonna just walk around and just bump into a guy like Sam Cassell? The legend. So it's really fun. And like I said, I met up with other Spurs fans that I didn't even know. I see other Spurs fans and we're just like, you give him, that. Our guy Taro, Japanese super
my
fan.
boy.
I saw him there at Vegas yesterday. Met up with him. So it's super cool to link up with fans. It's like a super fans paradise.
You should have told Taro if he wanted to have some drinks. My boy likes to drink, man. He might not.
He had to catch a flight. I asked him. He had to catch a flight. He was catching a flight last night.
Yeah.
He was catching a flight right after the game.
Now, Fernandez is there drinking in Las Vegas, Nevada right now. You can place bets right now. Here are the odds right now, according to DraftKings and to FanDuel. So this is FanDuel Sportsbook right now. NBA regular season MVP It's a 2-horse race right now. You got Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic, both of them around 3.5 to 1 odds. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 5.5 to 1 odds. Giannis at 6. Embiid at 6. Anthony Edwards at 12. Jalen Brunson at 15. Tatum at 25. And at 25 also John Morant. But the Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, 29 to 1 odds of winning the MVP. So, I mean, that's Vegas's way of saying that they think he's around the 10th best player in the NBA. Now, when it comes to Rookie of the Year, though, that is what I'm excited about, because Rookie of the Year, the weird thing is, and this is where betting gets a little bit odd, Zach Edey is the betting favorite to win Rookie of the Year. Zach Edey, who was drafted, number 9 overall in the draft? Zach Edey is number 1 overall at 6 to 1 odds. Reed Shepherd has moved up from 10 to 1 to 7. Alex Sarr at 7.5. Zachary Sarchet at 8. And at number 10, with the 5th best odds, is Stephon Castle. That's some tasty odds right there. 10 to 1. 10 to 1.
I'll put that. I might have to go. The sports book is right behind me over there. I might have to go put that 10 to 1, because I'll tell you, Stephon definitely has a chance. Hey, I'm a fair guy. I ain't gonna lie, man. Reed Shepherd looked nice. I saw him live, watching him yesterday.
He
The dude's a bucket, man. The dude's a bucket. I'll tell you, man. The kid is an assassin, man. That was the game before the Spurs game. Which, again, this is what's cool about the summer league. You pay $50, right, to get in general admission. Now you could pay more to be a little bit more down, but I was pretty much where the lowest you can get for the general admission tickets. And there's multiple games that are going on, right? So I saw the Reed Shepherd game right before the Spurs game. I saw Richard Shea. Well, obviously Richard Shea played Spurs, but even the throughout the days, two days that I went, you get to see like 4 games, in a row. So you see the different stars. But man, Reed Shepherd, I ain't gonna lie, the kid's nice.
Yeah, in his debut, had 23 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks. At 6'3", he had 3 blocks. Shot 9 for 15. I mean, the guy is just deadly. I mean, he could be, we talk about like a JJ Redick type of guy, but he might be better than that, because the guy plays defense. And that's the thing about Castle. That's the thing about Reed Shepherd. They play defense despite their size, although Castle does have big size. Okay, we have Fernandez. Before we let you go, you now have an understanding of where the Spurs are as far as what they look like in the summer league. We now know that the question becomes, are they going to make a big move between now and the beginning of the season? I'm not expecting anything. I don't expect the Spurs to go after Lauri Markkanen. I mean, they might make the college attempt and go, well, here's, if you take it or leave it type of thing.
Yeah.
But as the Spurs have left out some people off their roster recently, right? Bassie and Mamu. Which ones do you want to bring back? Because that's very Spursy to bring back somebody. Who's off the roster right now that you most want to bring back?
I'll tell you who's off the roster technically. That was at every game here at the Summer League. Mamu.
Yeah.
Sandro Mamuscalashvili was there. He was sitting right in front of us, actually, and my son talked to him, took some pictures with him. He's technically not on the roster. He was there at every Spurs game this week.
He knows
cheering the team, hanging out. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He knows it.
Right. So I think Mamu is definitely going to be back. I don't know. Bassie, for some reason, to me, I think has an outside chance of coming back just because they need depth at the center area. But definitely Mamu. It was cool, not to change gears, but to answer your question, I think it's definitely Mamu. It was cool seeing, Malachi was there, Champagne. They were all there supporting Castle and supporting the young Spurs squad. Blake Wesley was there. Pop, CP3, and Harrison Barnes were there. That was really cool seeing them there. So a lot of the Spurs team and players were out there kind of watching the team, which is really cool. But I definitely think Mamu's coming back. Like I said, he's there hanging out, watching the team, and technically not on the roster. Yeah, man, but before we do go, I appreciate you guys having me. I do want to talk real quick about a couple of things. Like, guys like Bouye don't get a lot of love. Mm-hmm. He was out there balling, man. He was out there hustling, man. That dude, I mean, he's a third string guy probably, and no, that's no disrespect, because this is how hard it is to get into the NBA. The dude's out there like hustling his butt off, man. And he's out there talking to the fans and interacting with people. Jamar Bouye, he earned some place in my heart over this week, because that dude is a hustler. And he's a really sweet guy, really cool guy. Mensah, San Diego State, Nathan Mensah, that guy was out there doing his thing. There's two-way contracts left on the roster. And I know that might not sound like a big deal, but I'm telling you, to these guys that are out there hustling, like, put this in perspective. Some of those guys, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, they are playing in the summer league. They just leave and get into their, Nissan Altima and kind of head out, and I'm saying because they were stars in high school, stars in college, but they went undrafted, and they can't crack a roster, right? So these guys are out there putting in blood, sweat, and tears, and we kind of joke about guys on the 15th man or the end of the bench, man, just to get there is an amazing accomplishment. So guys like Bouye, guys like Riley Minix that were out there, those guys are out there putting in a lot of work, man. You see it in the summer.
I got a question for you, Rik. Everybody wants to know in the chat here, because it was dollar beer night over at SAFC. So they're asking who had the bigger stack this weekend. Was it you or Steph? You at Summer League, or was it Steph at the SAFC game this weekend?
Well, I will say this: the dollar amount was probably a lot more here in Vegas than the dollar beers in SAFC. So she won in that aspect.
And then the dollar beers at SCFC, they're not that tall. I mean, so I was able to, it was like, Nyosa type stuff.
Somebody called you out on Twitter because they told her that she got the cup somewhere else.
I got the cup somewhere else. Where's the lipstick?
Haters. They're haters, man. People are haters, man. I'm telling you. There's always haters. Always.
Like, the lipstick's not there because she don't buy the cheap stuff, man. Come on.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
I'm the only one that could take the lipstick off.
I like the way she clapped back, though. I like
them cups ain't taking the lipstick away. I'm the only one that could do that. So
there you go. That is Fernandez, Rik Fernandez, retired United States Marine Corps. Get back to your partying there in Vegas again. 10-1, Stephon Castle. Make it happen, baby.
Yeah, let's do it.
Got to win that.
That's the move. That's the move. I like it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me. I appreciate you having me. I love you. I love you, baby.
All right. Latest.
So, we need to get into what happened over the weekend at Copa. Okay? Because, what are we going to get into first? The Lionel Messi's ankle is the size of a grapefruit right now.
Yeah, man.
Or are we going to get into the fact that people were breaking in to the Hard Rock Stadium there in Florida? Absolutely insane. And I got to ask the question, would you want Copa to be here in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome? Because what happened, was it Miami? What happened was absolutely ridiculous over the weekend. You had Colombia against Argentina, and the game was delayed by an hour and 22 minutes because people couldn't get into the arena who had tickets. You could have been on StubHub, SeatGeek, Ticketmaster, whatever the case may be, spent hard-earned money and couldn't get your ass into the stadium because thousands of people rushed it. And not only that, effing children were rushing it, which means that their parents were taking them there to go do that. Parents separating themselves from their kids. It was a mob. It was obscene over there. And as a Latino, I might be a coconut, but I'm a little bit offended and ashamed. They might not be Mexican, Argentinians and Colombians and all that.
You're not claiming them?
No, I have to. We're brown, right?
Oh,
we're all brown.
Man.
Yes.
And do you have any photos of that, Joe?
Yeah, but Messi's ankle, or you want to see the stadium?
The stadium, because the idea that so many people were getting into the ventilation system there at the arena trying to get in. They had no tickets.
Yeah.
I understand wanting to be around there. We see this with Taylor Swift concerts, right? Where you have 50,000 people who go into the stadium and you got 50,000 people outside. But the 50,000 people outside aren't trying to prevent the ticket goers from going inside, okay? But they got bum rushed like you wouldn't believe, and it was insane.
I'm going to show what I have right now.
It was absolutely ridiculous what they were doing, just bum rushing the whole place.
So there you go, man. You see, they're going right over the ticket booth.
They're climbing over the ticket booth.
Unimpeded.
Security? What security? They were just walking around them.
Look at that.
Just climbing like ants. Kids being flung up there. And where exactly were they going to sit?
They're standing, man.
Can you imagine me going in there, having a ticket? Me, my girl, I got your tickets, babe. Lower bowl. And then I look over and there's like nine people on our seat, right? Like a clown car. How many fights do you think? Dude, soccer is stupid.
Oh, look,
It's stupid.
You were speaking of bum
this
rushing.
type of soccer is stupid. San Antonio FC, have a fun time at. I've been out the San Antonio FC. That's great.
Look at that. They're bum.
That's great.
They're just.
But this is stupid. This
I
is
mean,
ridiculously
that behavior
stupid.
is stupid. I
And-
mean, I know we're talking about that and how they're acting, but like, it's that many people. It's bound to happen.
That's not fandom, though. That's not.
Kind of.
That's criminal activity.
Yeah. it's
That is criminal activity. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like going to San Antonio FC games, right?
Mhm.
You know, I like going to those types of games. That's fun because no one's going to be at the Toyota complex down there acting that much of a fool. But you go to certain games. You see this at Cowboy games right now. The
There you
entitlement,
go. There it is
the
again.
fighting at Cowboy games is a little bit out of control. But people jumping through bushes.
Look at that.
How much damage do you think was created by these
Oh,
people?
they trashed the place, no doubt.
Was
dude.
it even worth
Look
it?
at the gates. They're trying to keep them out, and there's just so many people.
And none of those MFers have tickets.
oh yeah, there's a oh, man.
Rubber bullets all around. Just make
I'm
it
like,
happen.
What are they gonna
Just-
do?
Rubber bullet. The whole thing.
Yeah.
It is stupid. And the idea that, you know, think about this. We want to have soccer
Oh.
become bigger in the United States, right? And it has become bigger.
Here's the infamous scene, Mike, going through the ventilation.
Going to the ventilation unit. What in the
That is wild.
That's
What-
poodle, Mike. That's poodle.
what in the Ocean's 11 is this, dude?
Steph.
I really don't understand like how people are like, this is okay. Like, not one thought. What if we get stuck? What if it falls? Of course, I'm gonna like. I really don't get it, and it does put like a bad rep on soccer because those fans, yeah, they're crazy, they're wild, but God, that is so criminal.
It puts a bad rap on Latinos. This makes us look stupid.
You know, look,
Because you know what? I don't see any white people going up there. I don't see any black people going up there. They sat there, Steph. Here's the thing. They sat there that morning, got dressed, knowing that they were going to do criminal activity. And knowing that they would be going like, somebody probably was like, dude, I got it. We're going to go through the ventilation. I got it. Make sure that you're wearing stretchy pants. I got it.
They're all a lot of them were wearing shorts. Some guys were wearing like those really tight, skinny jeans. That looks dumb as hell. But you know, one thing that we got to do is we got to pour some out for Messi's ankle, dude.
In the arms of an angel.
They showed the video of what happened. His ankle just moved the opposite direction, dude. And he's got probably a bad sprain, maybe some ligament damage there. Wishing a speedy recovery to him. But man,
The GOAT.
look at that ankle, dude. They won.
So bad.
And he was crying. I mean, you know when a
He wanted to be
professional player,
playing, dude.
you know when a professional player is brought to tears from an injury, that is a big deal.
Whew.
That is a big deal. What would you say is the worst thing that happened as far as injury was concerned? Messi's ankle or Donald Trump's ear?
Jeez.
Okay,
Cool.
we're not talking about politics, but the fact that guy moved his face at the last second, and he could have been assassinated,
Man,
JFK style.
they showed the bullet trajectory, right? And if he had not turned his head at that split second, he would have been donezo, man.
Now, was it a bullet or was it glass?
No, it was a bullet.
Because I don't know, man. AR-15. I mean, I've never heard of an AR-15 graze. Like that's a millimeter away from blowing off the back of your head.
I'm just saying, man. It's just like he just barely turned his head at the right moment, and it just nicked his ear.
Okay,
It could have been a lot worse.
so I thought about the phrase presence of mind. Remember back in the day, there was that 30 for 30 episode of Reggie
Yeah.
Miller, how he stole the ball, had the presence of mind to go back to the 3-point line and shoot the ball. Dude, Donald Trump, love him, hate him, whatever you think about him, doesn't matter. He had the presence of mind to lift his fist up in the air. He had the presence of mind to do that because he's a media whore.
He is a media whore.
Look at that. He's doing it right there.
He's a media whore.
He's doing it right there.
And he had the presence of mind to do that. And I don't agree with a lot of what he does, and I think he's a jackass. But the fact of the matter is, thumbs up on that.
He thinks he's 50 now.
Thumbs up on that. Oh, 34, felony convictions and getting
baby
shot one
mama.
time, several baby mamas, side pieces. Again, we're not going to talk politics, but we were about half an inch away from history there. And now the question becomes, what kind of president does he become with this? Because as I mentioned to my hardcore conservative friends, I said, getting shot changes your mentality sometimes. Reagan was a hardcore conservative, but guess what? Second he got shot, gun legislation suddenly went through. It's kind of different when you're the victim. Kind of different.
Lord. Oh Lord, now he's a victim.
Brady Bill. Well, he was a victim
Look at
of the
that,
shooting.
Jonathan C. Trump got more street cred than your favorite rapper. Oh my God, man.
That is funny.
Yeah, but just wishing him a speedy recovery. It doesn't matter if you're
He was
left
playing
or
golf
right,
the
man.
next day.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you're left or right, but stuff like this shouldn't be happening. Hopefully they do better security measures to ensure that this doesn't happen ever again, because not only is, let's say Trump was in jeopardy here, but what does that say for anybody that runs for the presidency moving forward?
Well,
you want to make sure that these running candidates are also secure,
I think it's been a while, and I'm not a conspiracy theory guy.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think something is a little bit off about this, because that guy was so close. And again, I saw the memes. Yolanda Saldivar most definitely would have nailed the target. Okay. But he was so
God.
now everybody's on Team Yolanda.
He was so close. And people could visually see him going, is that a gunman over there? What the heck's going on? Something happened. And who staged it, if it was staged? Because people are going to be like, well, maybe it was staged by this, maybe it was staged by that. But you don't stage it to the point where someone gets shot in the ear. Like, if it was staged to me, then it would have been off to the side. Someone did get killed, though. 2 people were in critical condition after all this. So it's kind of hard to make light of it being staged.
One man actually perished, saving his family, went out as a hero, because as soon as he heard the gunfire, he jumped on top of his family, and unfortunately, he perished doing that. But at least he went and saved his family. He took the bullet for them. He is a hero, but unfortunately, he lost his life. And you had 2 other people that were injured as well. So, I mean, things like this that happen, they make light of it. But at the end of the day, when people are losing their lives because of a failed assassination attempt, I don't care what you think as far as, hey, you're entitled to your own opinion, but if it's staged or not, if it was staged, people lost their real lives.
That is true, including the gunman.
Yeah.
Now, people think that this is like not very common. The election going on for November is for the 47th president of the United States, right? Yeah. Or if Biden repeats, he remain at 46. Presidents who've been killed in office include Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, William McKinley, John F. Kennedy. So think about that. 4 out of 46 presidents have been assassinated while they were president. Meantime, Reagan was shot, Theodore Roosevelt was shot at, and Trump was shot. Okay, now people say, well, Trump is not president. President is a title that you hold at all time. There's no such thing as saying former president. Because if Bill Clinton walks in the room right now, that is President Bill Clinton. That is President George Bush. Yeah. That is President Obama. That's President who.
But the security service dropped the ball in this regards, because it's their job to ensure that these former presidents or current president is protected.
Okay, it's Secret Service. So we'll give a shout out to Security Service. You said Security Service.
Oh, I meant Secret Service. I meant Secret Service.
We are big fans of SSF, FCU.
No, I meant
do not sue us.
Secret Service. The Secret Service is at fault because it's their job to ensure that there's security measures in place so things like this don't happen.
Sid Elias asking, am I going to add Trump to my death pool?
Oh, God.
I am going to add him, not because he's going to get shot at, it's because he weighs 390. But still, let's give some love. Remember his doctor said he weighs 240? Come on, dude. His doctor says he weighs 240, that he's 6'3", 240. Stephon Castle is basically 6'6", 225. And you're saying that they're the same.
Oh, my.
They're not the same. Let's give some love.
Man,
Let's give some love to that. Who are we gonna give love to? We're gonna give love
MCS
to
General
That's
Contracting.
what I was thinking. I was thinking that's a good one. Let's give some love.
My boy. MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leja over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Contracting with that diamond hard concrete, and they also have that swag, because take a look at that gear that Joe is wearing right now, that MCS General Contracting hat. I'll be honest with you, I had a family member who saw mine. I have the gray on gray one, and he was like, what cap is this? They like the logo. It has the cross on the top. They thought it was a church. And I was like, it's the Church of Concrete, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's Church of Concrete. I'm gonna go with it.
The Church of the Diamond Hard Concrete.
You know why? Because I'm pretty sure the 10 Commandments were created on that diamond hard concrete of MCS General Contracting. That's what I'm going to go with it. But they do a fantastic job. Chris Leja has been part of this whole process with us, this whole network with us from the very beginning. He was one of the first subscribers on YouTube, and now we're at 992. We are 8 away. I feel like this is a telethon. We need 8 more.
Let's go.
8 more. Why do we have to wait for these 2 or 3 a day? Let's get it done today. 1,000. Let's make it happen. If you can turn the chat on so I can see what's going on with that. But again, we're going to go till about 11:30 or so. We've been talking a lot about Stephon Castle, the Spurs Summer League. We had Fernandez on earlier, talking about what was going on with Messi and his ankle and the craziness that happened at the Hard Rock Stadium as people bum rushed the place. But my goodness, this was a week that was strange, just politically, in sports. It was just a very strange time, and got me thinking about a couple of things. You got me thinking about, like, why are things so messed up now compared to when I was younger? I always say that if you ever have that thinking, you suddenly become old. But now I kind of feel like I'm getting old because I'm thinking that way.
No, you're just old.
Do you know why I'm thinking old school? I'm thinking old school because there are rumors out there that 2 former Spurs might make a comeback, or maybe one of them might make a comeback. And it's a rumor. And it's one of those things where they ask the question, which one would you rather have back? I asked Fernandez, would you rather have, Mamu or Bassi? But let's say the Spurs were bringing back one of their old school veterans. Danny Green is out there saying, you do realize I'm not retired, right? Patty Mills, his career went to crap the second he took off this jersey.
Yeah. I say bring Patty back, man.
Dude, I would not be mad if they brought Patty back.
Danny Green's damaged goods, man. He can't shoot 3 no more. His better years are behind him, but Patty can still shoot the 3.
Yeah.
And he does great things for the community. So does Danny. Danny does great things for the community, but as a player currently right now and where they're at in their career, bring Patty back home, man.
Dude, JHNSB and everybody on this stream today is saying Castle is absolutely Devin's replacement. He is not Devin Vassell's replacement. Devin Vassell plays shooting guard. Stephon Castle is Trey Jones's replacement. Trey Jones is out of the lineup. Trey Jones cannot play defense. Yeah, good assist to turnover ratio. Yes, he can get 15 to 16 points. Yes, he can get you 6 or 7 assists. But he is not the defensive lockdown guy. If you want to have a good team out there and start your best 5, it is Stephon Castle and Vassell at 1 and 2. It's Sohan, Barnes, Wemby. That's it.
Yeah, it's going to be hard pressed though to have CP3 coming off the bench for a rookie.
Well, CP3 is going to be starting to start the season, right? Castle's going to get those starter minutes, though. Castle will, day one, be getting 20 to 30 minutes.
I think he's going to make a hard case for them to not give him those starting minutes.
Dude, the people who say, well, how much time do you think he's going to need in Austin?
I don't think
None! None!
He's going to need any time.
None, dude. He's ready. He's ready. He's ready right now.
The real question is Chicana Fuerte going to wind up getting a Castle jersey, or is that Collins? Which one? Pick your fighter.
I'm so sorry, but it's still Zach.
Oh my God, Steph!
Why are you so in love with him?
I don't know.
I mean,
she's just her favorite player, man.
He's not even spicy. She's
ready to fight. She's ready to fight.
He's spicy.
He's just he's like Zach Morris.
You know what? He's intimidated by Steph. Man.
He is.
It's a chifla, dude. He gets red. He gets his face red. He gets bashful.
He gets bashful.
I think I'm too spicy for him. That's what I've been told by his barber.
That might be it, because you take a look at like Dak Prescott, for example. He got with the Latina, knocked her up quick too. good man.
Goodness.
He knocked her up real fast.
Yeah, but it's going to be our goal to get Steph a Collins jersey before the start of the season. That way, when she goes to the games with Rik, she can get it autographed.
So what I want to find out real fast, I'm looking up Chris Paul, right?
Yeah.
So Chris Paul's stats. What I'm trying to find out, it's going to take me a few seconds, so please bear with me here. Remember that season that he was with Oklahoma City?
I remember that.
Okay, so he was part of that whole situation going on with Paul George going to LA and SGA going to Oklahoma City, and he was there, right? So this was back in 2019, 2020. Chris Paul started every single game that season. So he played 70 games. He started all 70. And what I'm trying to bring up, though, is what was SGA doing at that time? Because SGA, let me see here. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What was he doing that season? Let's see here. So that particular season when Chris Paul was there, dude, he started both seasons. He started alongside Chris Paul.
Did he?
Every single game. But here's the thing. He started at the 2. So they moved SGA over from shooting guard to point guard the second that Chris Paul left. And SGA is not a very tall guy. He is a tall guy. He's 6'6". Wait, let me get this straight here. Okay. I always thought SGA was 6'4". So let's get this straight here. SGA is 6'6", combo guard who turned into a point guard, an elite point guard. Stephon Castle is how tall? 6'6". Shai Gilgeous-Alexander went to a blue blood school in Kentucky. You saw Stephon Castle go to UConn and win a national championship there. The parallels between the two are very, very, very fascinating. SGA going out there, when he played alongside, this was his third season though, when he played alongside, second season rather, when he played alongside Chris Paul, he averaged 19 points. Was 6th in the most improved player of the year award. Also had 6 rebounds per game and 3 assists. Dude, I think the Spurs are going to do Stephon Castle and put him in the SGA role. It's fascinating, man. Exciting to be a Spurs fan right now. Tavares reaches out and says Chris Paul will start.
Yeah.
Tavares also believes that Chris Paul, Wemby, Devin Vassell, Barnes will start along with Wemby. That's the lineup there. Stephon Castle's so good, dude. He's so NBA ready. He and Reed Shepherd are balling out. Fernandez better be getting that 10-1 pick there for you, Chicano Fuerte.
Right.
$100 bet, profits $1,000. We already had one rookie of the year last year. Why can't we do it twice?
I forgot. I got to change the names on this thing because right now Steph is me and I'm her.
We got to switch seats real quick, guys. It's okay.
All right.
No. You stay there. I want her to.
Getting a close up. See, I need the wide shot because I'm a bigger dude. A wide shot.
We got to fit you in your screen.
So let's get some entertainment news going, shall we?
Yeah.
So we don't need a bump. But rest in peace for those of you who had the death pool on Shannon Doherty, the actress who's best known for 2 shows, Beverly Hills 90210, and also for Charmed. She passed away. She had a long battle with cancer. She was 53 years old when she passed. Some of her former colleagues, especially the ones on Charmed, were saying that they had a complicated relationship with her, but that they saw her talent. Shannon Doherty was known as kind of being a wrecking ball. Like she was a stick in the mud. She would piss people off on the 90210 set. She'd piss people off on the Charmed set. And she believes that her character on Charmed was killed off because Alyssa Milano, Rose McGowan, and all of them wanted her off the show.
You know, for all she did, I guess, as being a coworker, you know, people that work with her felt a certain way with her. Maybe she just wanted things run a certain way, you know, and I can sympathize with that. If you want things run a certain way, not everybody's going to like you, but you're going to be the epitome of a professional, which is fine, you know, and she might rub people the wrong way. I think she was just misunderstood because when you talk with other people who are in the convention scene, right, where she would go out and meet the fans, everybody had nothing but good things to say about her. When she would show up, they were saying how nice she was, and she was such a sweetheart because she made sure that everybody that was in line, they got an autograph or they got that picture taken with her.
She seemed to have a good relationship with fans, maybe not so much her coworkers. If you can show my screen by any chance, a post from one of her best friends, who I didn't realize was one of her best friends, which was Sarah Michelle Gellar, who we all know as Buffy, the Vampire Slayer from back in the day, wife of Freddie Prinze Jr. She posted that Shannon Doherty's death has really impacted her. That they were really, really close friends, and that she's mourning right now, and she can't believe that her friend has died. This is not unexpected, though. Shannon Doherty has been battling cancer for quite some time and has been very outspoken over the past couple of years about how much time she thinks she has on this earth. Again, she passed away over the weekend at the age of 53. Shannon Doherty, again, came to fame with 90210. We had a little bit of a crush on her. A lot of people did. You either like Jenny Garth or Shannon Doherty. Jenny Garth was the blonde girl next door. Shannon Doherty was the brunette kind of badass, that the bad girl. Yeah. And it's kind of like the whole thing involving Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie years later. I think that this was like the preview of Angelina Jolie, Jennifer Aniston, the battle between these two. But 90210, an iconic show. See video for courtesy of the Today Show at NBC, how she had those cover-ups on because of her cancer. Rest in peace to Shannon Doherty. Passed away at the age of 53.
Yeah, we lost several celebrities already. We also lost Richard Simmons, the fitness guru.
Yeah, Richard Simmons passed away. He has been think about the life that he had. He made money, he had fame, but for the better part of 45 years was the butt of jokes.
He was.
And I wonder if that's something that he's okay with, that he was okay with. He passed away in New Orleans on Friday at the age of 76. He was an icon. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere in the 80s or 90s without hearing or watching those videos.
Sweating to the oldies.
The infomercial would pop up. Yeah. The commercial would pop up. I mean, before there was the ShamWow guy.
It was Richard Simmons.
Before there was the flex tape guy and the guy that looks like the gazelle.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Tony Little. Before there was all that, there was Richard Simmons, man, going out there, getting the viejitas in shape.
He's the founder for Zumba.
Really?
Or not the founder, but like
the inspiration.
Yeah, the inspiration. That's where it all came from.
That's interesting.
Because whenever you say like, oh, like the abuelas and the grandmas and all that, man, you'll see abuelas and tias and everybody like just tearing it up at Zumba. I'm like, dang, get it.
So here's the thing. I mean, that's a very good point. I mean, it's fascinating that older people gravitated towards him because he first got his start as a gym owner in Beverly Hills, California. And he says, my gym is not for the big and buff, that my gym is for overweight women.
Yeah.
And to think about that as the brains that is.
Yeah.
The target market that is. But he was born in New Orleans. He died in New Orleans. But he made a name for himself in a time that was difficult to make a name for yourself in, because there were not a lot of channels back then. There was no YouTube in the 80s and 90s. There was none of that. He learned the game of infomercials, those 3 a.m. things that you would see.
And he would make the rounds too when it came to coming out on the premier talk shows of the day.
Mm-hmm.
He even would make a regular
Hollywood
appearances.
Squares.
Yes.
Hollywood
he
Squares.
would also come out with David Letterman a lot
Lord.
of times, and he was funny when he was doing his David Letterman show because he was always very flamboyant with his costumes and making David Letterman just bust out laughing.
Now,
he loved to make people laugh and smile at the end of the day. He had a beautiful soul in that regards, you know.
He had thick skin, but the one person that got under that skin was Howard Stern.
Oh man,
because he like walked off that one time. Howard Stern was like, "I'm never coming back." But he was on David Letterman all the time too.
Look at what Jonathan C. said. He's like, "I miss Girls Gone Wild late night commercials. I had 2 minutes to get it done."
Damn it. Girls Gone Wild, dude.
Sith coming out saying Richard Simmons started the boy shorts movement.
Oh,
no, that was John Stockton. That was John
No,
Stockton.
it was Richard Simmons. It was before John Stockton. He would always wear those red, white, and blue shorts everywhere he went.
Yeah,
dude.
he was very patriotic when he did
Yeah.
that. People are saying that he was on Whose Line Is It Anyway? I gotta find that one out.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of that show, but I didn't see that particular segment. But that's pretty cool. So we are at 992 subscribers strong. 992. I'm gonna hit the refresh button over here on our YouTube studio here. 992. We're 8 away. 8 away. We do have some giveaways that we're going to give out in the next week or so.
Cuts by Jones, you know, that really nice Spurs logo that I have for your man cave. We're going to give that out.
We have that Wemby Rookie of the Year card. We gave away one already. We have another one we can give away. We have a pad, like a tablet. We have a tablet that we can give away as well. So lots that we're doing here. This has been exciting times. But again, we like talking pop culture. Speaking of pop culture, and I'm going to call this up on Twitter. I posted this on Twitter early today. Do you ever watch a show that's so bad, but you just keep watching it anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Okay, so I've been watching That 90s Show on Netflix.
God,
Season
it's
1 was
awful,
last year
man.
because I was a big fan of That 80s Show with
Yeah.
Laura Prepon and Topher Grace and Wilbur Valderrama and Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, and all of them, right? That was a funny show.
Yeah.
They brought it back into this, That 90s Show. Some of the characters still appear, like Red Foreman and his wife, and
Ashton Kutcher.
and so, well, he's not in there. It's the redhead is in it. Laura Prepon.
No, they made an appearance.
Oh, they made an
too.
appearance.
Yeah.
Okay, so the redhead's in it. Anyway, it's about the kids.
Yeah.
Right. The parents have moved away from that 80s show, or that 70s show rather, and now the kids are coming back every summer to spend time with their grandparents. That's the basic. So it's Kelso's kid, it's Donna's kid,
Yeah.
and they're all over there enjoying what small town life is in Wisconsin. Again, it's called That 90s Show. If you can show my screen real fast. This is courtesy of Netflix. I was watching the first episode this morning, and they made reference to Lisa Loeb.
Oh, God.
And Donna's daughter
Oh.
is having a Lisa Loeb moment because she's upset. And she starts singing her version of Stay. And what was so funny was that they did the whole imagery of the old episode of the old video, and Lisa Loeb actually makes an appearance on there. And Lisa Loeb for that whole episode is her conscience.
Yeah.
She's having conversations with nobody, but it's really Lisa Loeb, and it's so funny. I like how they did this whole
skit.
Yeah. And she's acted it all out, and she has the glasses and everything. So we gotta ask the question: nerdy nuggets.
No.
Lisa Loeb is a nerdy nugget.
Yeah.
I can do it, nerdy nuggets.
You know who else low key was a nerdy nugget? Janine Garofalo, dude.
Back in the day, back in the
day,
90s. Not anymore.
No, not
she
anymore,
she
bro.
did not age well.
No.
But back in the day, 90s nugget, nerdy nugget.
Yeah.
But then again, there's always the adorkable girls, right? The adorkable girls
Oh,
like
Lord.
Zoe
Zoe.
Deschanel.
Oh, I love her.
She's what's
Yeah.
called adorkable. And those are the kids from That 90s Show. It is not a very good show.
Nah.
It is not any good. But I watch them all. It's not any good.
It's I. It's Marbach nice.
Okay, people making fun of me because I called That 70s Show That 80s Show. It's because, well, first of all, That 70s Show did end in the 80s, and this show began in the 80s as it turned 1990. You see the guys wearing Soul Asylum shirts. They're wearing flannel.
Yeah. It's the start of grunge, man.
Yeah, baby, it is. It's a good. The show's good enough. It gets me to the next episode, and then I'm like, well, crap, I'm already 4 episodes in. I may as well end the season. Only 8 episodes in season 2.
I'll tell you one show that I'm into right now that I've been watching faithfully. House of the Dragon, man.
I hear that's good.
This last episode did not disappoint, man. Me and my friends call it Hot D.
Yeah. And if you can show my screen again, watch the movie She's Out of My League again over the
I
weekend.
love that movie.
I
Is
remember
it
this
okay?
one.
Isn't this
Mhm.
okay? This is a guy's. Is this a dude flick? What is this?
Uh,
What's a,
You know what?
what's a-
I think it is a dude flick because the first time I watched it with my older brother,
yeah.
and yeah, like it does give like the perspective of the nerdy guy actually
Getting the girl.
I'm glad that you're here, Chicano, for this, Steph, because I got to ask yourself the question.
Okay.
For those of you who haven't watched this movie, Jay Baruchel came out on it. It's It's a great, funny movie. By the way, the comedian that's on the far left who played Stainer, I met him.
Oh my gosh.
He was at the San Antonio Comedy Club, the LOL Comedy Club, last year.
Man, he's funny.
He's hysterical.
The sarcasm is top tier.
Yeah. So one of the things that he brings up on the movie is whether or not you can successfully be with a woman who's more than 2 points hotter than you on a scale of 1 through 10.
That whole segment in the movie is hilarious.
Okay, so let's go back to the 3 box on this one here, but appreciate it. Let's think about that, because in the movie he says you are a 5, right? You are a 5, telling his friend, but he's really, really nice and he's funny, so he becomes a 6.
Mm-hmm.
But then, as his friend says, you drive a shit box for a car,
No.
you
So
lose
it
a point, you're
brings it
back
back
down to a 5, right? And he says you can only bag a girl that is 2 points higher than you.
Remember that, Mike.
Thank
Just
you.
saying.
Yeah, I that was a
Wow.
softball. I love the slow pitch softball pitch. Thank you for knocking it out of the park. But he says that's a chasm that you can't jump over, right? That the girl needs to be between your level of hotness or 1 or 2 points higher.
Gotcha.
Okay. So my question for you, Chicana Fuerte,
Mhm.
you and Fernandez, is he within 2 points of you?
Wow.
Shit, we both 10s. What are you talking about?
man.
Like,
That's a good one.
we're-
That's a good clap.
I mean, I really don't
I
like.
like that one.
I wasn't
Okay.
trying to get a clap
Yeah.
back, but
No,
I respect it.
here's the thing: is that, like, man, fell head over heels for Rik as a Marine. Like, oh my god, that's amazing. But then, like, this new retired look, I'm like,
You like the beard? You're digging the beard?
Oh, here, the comments
can't.
already in from Fernandez right now. He's already
Oh,
from the
my
stratosphere of
God.
Las Vegas, Nevada. 10 out of 10. Pocket 10s.
100.
We got pocket 10s between the two.
Wow.
Very nice. No, but let's go back in time. Okay, let's take Fernandez out of the picture, right? Just women in general. Let's talk about your friends, for example, right?
Okay.
Or your cousins or whatnot, right? If one is very attractive and the dude is not, but maybe he has money, maybe he has whatever, right? However, girls come up with how do girls come up with a number as to, like, when guys say she's a 9, a 10, whatever, it's predominantly looks and then maybe like other things below it, right? How does a woman come up with their number to say that guy's a 10, that guy's a 7, that guy's a 5, that guy's a 3?
You know, to be honest with you, I don't have friends that are shallow like that. Like, I've never been around my friends and we're like rating them. We really haven't. Like, we've had our side eye moments of like, oh, that's the guy.
Okay.
But it's never like oh man, like he's a 7 or he's a 5. No, like we just like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad he's nice, but you could do better.
Steph does have some good looking friends, but she's not going to introduce you.
Oh,
Mike.
that's true. My friends and I used to give rankings to women based on jersey numbers back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
So we'd be like, meet John Elway over there. You know, that's a 7. You know, here comes Troy. Here comes Troy Aikman with an 8. You know, Mookie Blaylock, that's a 10. And there was one time we were out and about, and a girl heard us doing this, and she looked back and she goes, "Are you judging us based on jersey numbers?" And we're like, "No." But she's out of my league. Top tier rom-com. Now, people are reaching out on Twitter at MJ Acquired Taste. You could also follow Joe at 2 Shots Podcast. Asking the question, other movies that are top tier. One of them is 10 Things I Hate About You.
All right.
Aw.
Never seen it.
What?
Never seen it. Is that the next movie review?
You got to watch
Oh,
that
Lord.
one. You're talking about rom-coms and this, and you've never seen The GOAT, dude? Come on.
No, I've
man.
never seen that one. That's Heath Ledger, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay. And then someone brought up another one here. Can't Hardly Wait from the 90s.
That one's all
That
right.
one's okay.
It's all right.
I want to say that I've seen it, but I don't think that I have.
It's very forgettable. You probably seen it and then you forgot about it.
Now, Can't Hardly Wait does star Jennifer Love Hewitt, right?
Dude, she was smoking hot back then, dude.
Man, every time her name is brought up, I always think of my brother
Why is that?
because of the nickname that she got. Like, everybody called her back then.
What was that? Oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'll just
Come
say
on,
it.
Mike.
That's not a curse word. That's not $1. But let's show some photos of Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh, Lord.
Because
Okay.
over the weekend, I was watching some TikToks, and I love the old Howard Stern video clips from like back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And they had Rich Cronin on there. Rich Cronin, who passed away about a decade ago. He was the lead singer of LFO.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that song? New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. Chinese food makes me sick.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You know, I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch. He dated her and was telling this whole story. So there's this 4-minute clip on the Howard Stern show from like 2010 where he's like, yeah, we dated for 2 years. And Howard Stern's like, so you bagged her? And he goes, dude, we were together for 2 years. Of course I did. But goes on to say that she was a prolific cheater, that she took him to a jewelry store in California, in Beverly Hills, and bought him like a ring, like a promise ring. And
she bought him one?
That she bought him one.
Mm-hmm.
And that he found out later on that he found out that she was cheating on him. The person that she cheated on him with, she had taken him to go get a promise ring, the same ring from the same store. And that years later, he was in that VH1 show Man Band with one of the guys from 98 Degrees. And he goes, dude, we have something in common. We both dated Jennifer Love Hewitt. And it was the exact same time. So he's like, how many times did she cheat on me? And then he said, oh yeah, did she buy you that ring also? So apparently she had a thing for buying promise rings for all her conquests.
That's weird.
And that she gaslit Rich Cronin into thinking that it was because of his anger or because of his temper why they were breaking out. He goes, no, I'm mad because you cheated on me.
No, man.
I'm not. I've never been mad. Now you're saying that you're gonna break up with me now because I'm mad that you cheated on me, just being gaslit.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, I would have loved for a Jennifer Love Hewitt to taken me to go get a ring.
Lord, you almost broke your neck.
All-time nugget. She's in the Hall of Fame of nuggets from the 1990s, early 2000s. What was that one movie?
I promise I'm
Heartbreakers.
gonna cheat on
Oh
you.
yeah,
Heartbreak.
her and Sigourney Weaver, right? Wasn't it Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah. Sigourney Weaver looked amazing in that.
You know the thing with Sigourney Weaver, like I was telling you the last time, the older she got, like she got hotter. You know?
Is it that she got hotter? Or is it that we got older?
No, she got hotter, dude. I'm telling you, when she was younger, she didn't look as good as when she got older.
She continued the glow up.
She glowed up as she got older, definitely.
Man, I had not thought of Jennifer Love Hewitt's nickname in forever. Like the fact I was like, wait, why I forgot that I was in front of a microphone.
I know, you're
like Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Sorry,
Goodness.
I have brothers and no mute button with them.
That's funny. Other pop culture news. Have you been following the whole Kendrick Lamar Drake thing? I mean, I know we've been talking about that for a while, but that music video is now out, and that restaurant that Kendrick Lamar goes to is apparently blowing up. Chicana Frete, were you team Drake or Kendrick Lamar this entire time?
Lamar, like I rarely listen to Drake, if I'm being honest. I'll listen to his older stuff. But no, like it's funny, like when we're driving around, me and Rick,
Yeah.
I'm like bumping Kendrick, his old stuff.
Yeah.
And like I'm a true fan.
Yeah,
just
and you're not jumping on for
God,
Not Like
no.
Us, you know. But it's interesting though because he had 17 Grammy Awards before this whole,
I'm like, Degrassi's a
happened.
rapper now. Like what? Okay.
But it's funny because the music video that came out of it all, and you see like DeRozan, and he's mentioned in there as well. The dude united the whole state of California. Like, I mean, not only talking about Compton, but talking about the Bay Area and Oakland and Not Like Us. I just think it's phenomenal. Like, I think it's not Tupac Biggie, right?
Nothing's ever gonna be.
Nothing's ever gonna be. Isn't
This
that
is
weird? Isn't that weird?
Kendrick.
Okay? So let's talk about music real fast.
Okay.
So like, I'm not gonna ask you how old you are, but I'm gonna assume that you're significantly years younger than me. Okay.
Significantly, but
A decade probably, right?
maybe.
So let me ask you this question.
Mhm.
Are we going to be in a nursing home 40 years from now, 50 years from now, bumping Pac and Biggie, and is Selena going to be still being played at that time?
Yes. Legends never die.
Isn't that funny?
It's amazing. It's not funny. It's incredible.
Well, because like I go on TikTok and I see these young musicians,
Mm-hmm.
and they start playing bands like Boston.
Mm-hmm.
They start playing bands like not the big names. It's one thing to say that you like Queen. It's one thing to say that you like Rush, right? But if you like a band like Boston, which was like second tier, it's funny how they're going out there and being interested in that. But now when it comes to like 90s music, it's becoming a thing. People are looking at bands like Alice in Chains or looking at bands like Smashing Pumpkins, and they live on forever. I kind of feel like that is so cool that my kids now watch that. Now, Steph, I got to ask you this question, Steph. When it comes to concerts, my daughter and I have been talking about going to go see Taylor Swift in October in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets are like $1,500-$1,600 each.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to pay $1,500-$1,600. I do want to see the concert, but I don't want to go. But flip the script.
Wait.
She reached out to me and says she wants to go to a different concert. Childish Gambino in September.
Oh my God.
September 15th, I believe, in New Orleans. That's the show that I think we're going to go to. Childish Gambino is amazing, and
He is.
Okay,
but then
first of
like
all,
I think it's on the mood. I'm like, okay, are we going to like fangirl out, or are we gonna like you're gonna take your daughter high before you go to Childish Gambino?
I don't mind that.
Oh yes.
I don't mind that. Now, Gambino, Donald Glover, by the way, who AKA Childish Gambino, is one of the most prolific people. He's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, talented guy, man.
I mean, he created that show Atlanta, which was really good.
Doesn't he have like a clothing line or something?
I'm sure he does. He's a very good actor. I mean, he plays dramatic roles. He plays comedic roles. I mean, when Redbone came out, that was all over the place. This is America. Was a big thing. But I was such a big fan of him on Community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he played Troy.
He's
he's nerdy, and it's funny because like the album, because the internet came out with 3005 and Sweatpants and songs like that, right? Sober. These are great songs. I've been a big fan of Childish Gambino from the beginning. So
well, see, like my kids listen to that. Like we have like a family karaoke playlist that I play, and 3005 is on there. And like I got my 7-year-old like word for word.
Yeah. It's funny because like I'm not like a hardcore into hip hop, but I latched on to Childish Gambino from the beginning. So when my daughter says she wants to go, I want to go. But let me ask you this question, because they're asking, and I like having a woman's perspective on this. We were talking about attractiveness, the scales of 1 to 10 and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I saw an article the other day, and it was asking the question, why do she was an African American reporter, and she posed the question, why do so many women find Childish Gambino attractive now when he was just as attractive as Troy on Community, when he was just as attractive on Because the Internet, when that first came out, and then 3005 came out? Why is he now considered to be attractive now? Is it because people mature and are older and he seems to be more mature? Or is it because you like people like Bad Boys when they're younger and want to have somebody who seems to be a little bit more cerebral later on? Your thoughts?
My thoughts, I don't know. I don't find him attractive. I just like him as a dope ass person.
Okay.
So I'm just assuming that those women that didn't find him attractive at first to now, it could just be like a trend, what TikTok says.
Yeah.
What Instagram says.
Heartbeat's a great song.
Because if you were to probably ask them all these questions about his older music, they would be like, "Oh, what?" But
the guy, I was going to say, before we start bringing the show to an end, let's give some love to Jeff Garcia of Locked On Spurs. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Yep, I subscribe on Spotify, YouTube. You should as well. I'm going to be the guest tomorrow. I think we're going to be talking about Stephon Castle. So I'm looking forward to being on the show. Jeff just posted on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone a post from The Athletic talking about a trade potentially involving the Golden State Warriors and the Utah Jazz. The Warriors kind of want to go after Lauri Markkanen, but apparently the Jazz asking price might be too damn high. And that's probably why the Spurs might not get Lauri Markkanen either, right? Because the Jazz are asking for several first-round picks, asking for several swaps, asking for players. And if they're asking that of the Golden State Warriors, that means they're asking that of the Spurs. The idea of that happening is not very high. Again, Jeff G Spurs Zone on Twitter and on Threads. He's the lead sports writer for Kens5.com. We've talked about a lot today. The big thing that we need some help with again is to get us to 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Again, only 8% of channels ever make it to that 1,000 mark. We picked up one during the show. We are at 992. Get us 8.
Yeah, you all were kind of talking about Childish Gambino, and as you're naming some of the songs, one of the songs that I like that a lot of people don't know is that he did a cover of PM Dawn's Set Adrift on Memory Bliss, and it's a banger, dude. It sounds really good.
Do you want to know a song that he did? You go on YouTube. Childish Gambino did a cover of a Chris Gaines song, the song Lost in You.
Yeah.
Lost in You is one of the prettiest songs ever written, ever recorded. I love that song. So who is Chris Gaines? Chris Gaines is the alter ego of Garth Brooks.
Oh, yeah. I
remember back in the day? So I'm going to look up Chris Gaines, Garth Brooks. I don't know if Chicana Freta remembers this, but when Chris Gaines, there was a movie that was supposed to come out of starring Garth Brooks. If you can show this, Chicana Freta. This was the alter ego of Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
And Garth,
emo looking dude.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a rock,
Everybody
like a
has
rock
their
star.
emo era.
Yes.
I have my emo era.
Do you remember this at all?
Did you? We got to see some pics of you in your emo
Oh my
area.
gosh, no, like I did like the knee-high socks and the
Do you remember this at all?
I want to say yes.
This was like early 2000s,
Yeah.
late 90s. He was going to be in a movie, and he was going to star as a guy named Chris Gaines. And he cut his hair, got a soul patch, got rid of the beard, got rid of the cowboy hat, kept the black clothes, but not this was the thing. Anyway, one of the songs that was supposed to be on there was called Lost in You. And it's a great song. My friend, good friend, our friend of the show, Anthony Pittman, interviewed Garth Brooks years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Asked Garth Brooks a question: what is your favorite song to perform? And they asked the question, Trisha Yearwood, I believe, is his wife, right? Was it Trisha Yearwood? What is Trisha Yearwood's favorite song of yours? And Garth Brooks blushed. Didn't want to answer. And he finally said, Trisha really likes Lost in You, that's her favorite song. Well, going back to it, go onto YouTube. I suggest everyone do this. You're on YouTube watching this right now. After the show, type up Childish Gambino, Lost in You. He does a rendition of that song that is top tier. Top tier. Gonna get to 1,000. We need 8 more. Tim Gonzalez is saying that Team USA basketball is already playing right now, and that they're up 10 points overall. So why aren't we up 50? Why aren't we up 50? I don't know, man. I'm cheering for Team USA to lose.
Well, they were saying, I think it was Spurs Muse had put something out there saying that you have two Spurs players they're currently playing for their teams. And which team would you want to win? Would you want Team USA to win, or would you want Wemby to win?
I want Victor Wembanyama to win.
I think
who's the other one?
I forgot the other one.
Because Sohan's not in it.
No, he's not in it
Poland didn't
anymore.
make it.
No. But it's another. Oh, it was Derek White. So they were comparing one former Spurs player to one current Spurs player. They're like, we have 2 Spurs players in the Olympics.
If Derek White was going for the game winner, gold medal against France, and Wemby was there, I want Wemby to swat that ball down the court. I don't like LeBron James. Okay, Steph Curry. I don't like a lot of Team USA players. I just don't.
Yeah, you're hoping that Team France does good.
I do.
Yeah,
I do. Again, different rules. You know how it's different rules? You could take the ball off the rim.
The rim, yeah.
And when you got Gobert and Wemby down there, just scooping the ball out.
Hey, low key, that's a formidable wall right there. Gobert and Wemby. Like, how are you gonna get over that?
You know, it's something that I can't I don't think I will ever get out of my head. Every time someone says France, I think of the Miss World, and she's like,
France.
every single time I hear France, that's what
France.
goes in my head, like without fail. I always think of that beautiful woman and her crazy voice.
You know, we're gonna have to make some shirts, dude, that say "Poodles in Paris," man.
Dude, I'm gonna make it happen, dude. I'm gonna figure it out, dude. I don't care what I've got to do to make that happen. Second job, referee a shit ton of games, $1. I'm going to go to that game.
Poodles in Paris.
Poodles in Paris. But will I find a girlfriend between now and then?
Oh man, I don't know. You might be smitten. Maybe between then and now.
Very nice. Everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you to United States Marine Corps retired Rik Fernandez. You know him, you love him as Spur Hernandez. Thank you for being out there and coming at us from the stratosphere in Vegas, being our correspondent for the Spurs summer camp out there.
Boots on the ground there.
Tim Gonzalez, real fast. So Stephon Castle was playing for Team USA. Will Mike pull for Team USA basketball? Damn straight, because he's my son.
Are you gonna get the chain? We got to get you a chain that has the castle on it.
Dude,
yeah.
Okay. I want to be at the first game of the season, and I want Stephon Castle to know that there's somebody. Now, I might not be the only one.
The chain.
But I want him to know Dad's here. Dad's here with the 5, right?
So you're gonna have his jersey, right? Custom jersey with his number on it.
Yeah.
And on the back it's gonna say Mijo.
Mijo.
He's all, that daddy or that Pepe's or what's that goddamn movie?
Dude, so Stephon, that reminds me of Urkel from back in the day, Family Matters.
Mm-hmm.
There was Stephen Urkel and there was Stephon Urkel. Which one did you like? Stephon or Cal.
They're both funny. They're both very funny.
Very nice. Everyone have a fantastic day. It is Monday in San Antonio. I want to celebrate that we're going to get 1,000 tomorrow. Let's make it so.
Yeah,
like, share, and don't forget also to leave a tip down there if you want to help out the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Very cool. Everyone have a fantastic day. We'll be back tomorrow.
Click end stream.